This is Harry Jacobs, and this is the North of 60 Gaming Channel, and I am the North of 60 Gamer. Welcome! Today we're going to undertake a tutorial walkthrough of Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. This was from Fantasy Flight Games. I believe it came out in 2016. There was only two little expansions where they added two new characters, a Witch Hunter and I think the Troll Slayer. But other than that, they have really not done much with this game in the 5 or 6 years. This was a Grail game for me. I just picked this up a couple of months ago. But today we're going to go through it and play it and have a little fun with it, I think. This is an older game. Now, you can go on to BGG and they will have a slew of fan-made content for this. So don't feel that this game has been limited because FFG doesn't support it. The fans really liked it. And I myself have not tried any of the fan-made stuff, but I am going to go look at it later, and I'm going to be maybe printing off some of the stuff with that game, and maybe we'll review some of that later on. I've got a sort of tight setup here, and we'll go over that in a minute. But for now, let's head down to the table. Let's play this game and take a look at it. And I'm just going to walk you through the game. I don't know if we're going to play a full game today because of the length of that game is going to take a while, but we're going to go through it. We're going to try to hit all the little bits and pieces of the rules just so that you're comfortable with them. So in case you want to buy it, this game is still around. You can still find it. I found it. So if I can find it, you can find it. Anyway, down to the table. So here we are, ready to start the game. I have the rules off to the top. You can see the box just off the here. Here we have our wound tokens. Here we have our explorer tokens and our success tokens. They're kind of mixed up from the last game. Here we have our board. This is going to take us through the story. The green space, the blue space, and the red space are each going to trigger a special action. We have our locations picked out, and on the bottom is Grump's Stump, the final location, and we must clear that final location and kill Mr. Obsidious Grump. We have our gear cards, our dungeon cards for our explorer actions. We have some of the cards that will empower us or poison us and do good things or bad things. A little bit different, I've got some red cubes here, or red crystals, and what we're going to use them on the cards to mark the exhaustion. There's just not enough space to turn the cards. Normally you would tap it like you would tap mana. So we're going to actually not do that. Sorry for a little bit of the glare here. That happens a little bit in these situations. Here you can see I'm also using meeples. Now there's two meeples here, one meeple here, and one meeple here. I am playing the 3-player game. That means the primary hero, or the active hero right now who goes first, is going to get 2 turns. Everybody else will have 1 turn. So I'm using that to indicate, because I am terrible at remembering the turn orders and whether they went or not. So I thought I'd make it easy for my life there. Here are the cards. So we'll take a look at each individual card as we play, rather than me go through them one at a time and put you to sleep. But we are basically ready to go. What we're going to do, it is a little bit tight, so I'm going to push things up just a tiny wee bit so we can have our shadows and our play space as well. So that is the setup, basically. We each start off with our 4 basic cards. There are ways of improving these as we play through the quests. Now I am only on the first quest. So here we go. Let's go, guys. That's the setup. And we'll take care of the rules as we go through it. So just to show you, we have the hero phase, where all heroes are going to take their turns. Then the enemy phases, if there's still enemies out. Then we're going to do the location phase, and then the pearl phase. And we're going to explain each of those phases as we go along. So the first phase is actually going to be where we're going to pick a location. So our first location is a fungal patch. You can see the 3 is the number of monsters that we're going to put in front of us, and 1 is going to be in the shadow, and it's going to take 7 explorer tokens in order to fully explore this, and so we can move on to the next location. At the end of the location phase, the party leader rolls one enemy die on a shield. He becomes sickened. I'm sorry, it is on a black die. So we're going to roll this die. And if he rolls this, he's going to be sickened. And we'll give him a sickened card. So that is his location. We'll just put this location up here on this card here for now, just so you can see it. And then what we're going to do is start picking the first 3 cards. So the first card is going to go to our primary player, the first player marker, and it's an Orc Boy. He is a level 2 monster, as you can see. He is going to strike for 2 during the enemy phase. He only has 2 life and no defense. This enemy can exhaust only after it activates. So in other words, I can't get rid of it through another means. There are ways of exhausting enemies. Once an enemy is taken an activation, he will exhaust. In this case, he does not, except for when he activates. The next monster is a Clan Rat, and this is an elite. And we'll go over the keywords as we come across them. 2 again, 2 life, and he doesn't do anything else. He has some flavor text, but he has no special power. Lastly, we have a gigantic spider. He does 1 damage. He's going to take 3 to kill, and he ensnares. If this enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. However, he is not in the shadows, but he does like to retreat. And we'll go over that one at a time as we go. And then we take one of the monster cards, and we're just going to put it here in the shadows. We'll just put that up here out of the way. Now, shadows, in terms of combat, they're just waiting to jump us. And they will during the enemy phase. However, he can be shot at with ranged, and the Witch Hunter does have range, or he can be engaged. So we could conceivably engage him and get him down here before this turn. But the whole idea is we want to really explore 7 times and to do that. But the first thing we want to do is get rid of this Orc Boy. This Orc Boy actually does have, sorry, I misspoke, has 1 defense. So it's going to take me 3 hits to kill him. I don't have any successes, but we are going to advance on him. So if we look at the inexorable advance, inexorable advance, excuse me, I can engage up to 2 enemies and attack 2 dice before the action. You may target up to 2 enemies. There it is there. I don't have 2 enemies, so I am going to roll 2 white dice and a black dice. You always roll a black dice. If I get this side, I'm going to take 1 damage. If I get the special, I'm going to have to pull Grump. And Grump's special action is that 2 people are going to have to take damage. He comes sort of out of his lair and throws a rock at a couple of guys. So we're just going to roll him over here. There's that special, and we've done 2 damage. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll look over here, and it takes 1 damage, so basically, or one shield. So he's only going to take 1 damage, which is not particularly nice. And I've used up one of my turns, and now I've got to take 2 damage here. I'm going to take a lot of damage this turn because of this. We're going to spread a little bit of that damage. I have to take the 2 damage. I have to take 1 damage from the monster. Oops. I have to take the 1 damage for the monster. And I'm going to spread damage out a little bit here. The cleric can afford to have 1. And I'll take another damage. Because during the monster phase, I'm going to take another damage. Let's hope not. And we have exhausted this card. He too has got a Clan Rat. He's going to want to take care of that fairly. He's going to use Righteous Fury. Very similar. Right here. He's going to roll 2 dice. Let's just take the dice off. Before this action, you may exhaust another action to target one additional enemy and apply a +1. Well, he doesn't have an additional entity. He's not ranged. So basically he can't do that. So he's going to use that. He's going to roll 2 dice, just as we did before. This guy also has a 1 defense. So he is going to get hit for 1. You can see that here. We have 2 hits, which is good. We have a success, which is also worth a hit. So far we have 3 hits. That's enough to kill him, actually. We don't have to roll again. We are not hitting anything else. So one of these is going to get absorbed by the armor, and these 2 will go through. So we are good. So we're going to exhaust. We did that already. We exhaust. We've killed this guy. But we do take a single damage on the way out. And this meeple guy has been used. The Witch Hunter. Now the Witch Hunter has ranged. So I'm thinking that he's going to want to take care of this guy and take the 1 from this guy at the end. Because 2 is a lot of damage to take. And he's going to get a mob on him. Actually, he's going to get a mob on him right away here. And he's already spent his fury. So his righteous fury. So let's take the Witch Hunter. We're going to use our range to help get rid of this orc boy. Similarly, though, he is going to engage 1 enemy. He's going to use a range attack. During your session, for each other action you have exhausted, which is none, I could target an additional enemy. He cannot. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. We're just going to roll 2 dice. And we're going to need at least 3 to get rid of this guy. So we have a blank. We have a shield, which doesn't help us. And because he has an armor, he's going to take 1 more hit. But that is enough to get rid of him. Phew. And he has taken his turn. We will mark his card. And we're going to come back over to this guy here. There's really not a lot he can do. He needs to explore. So we'll show you the card. There's the Explore card. I hope you can see that. There it is. I'm going to roll 2 dice, draw 1 dungeon card, and I either can resolve it or exhaust the card to put it back on the bottom of the deck, which is handy for him if it's a bad, nasty card. So, we don't have a monster in front of us. We'll just move this guy, and we'll put a token here on Into the Dark. 2 shields. That's the equivalent of a whoosh. So we swished it, but we still have to take our dungeon card. It says suffer one damage. Discard a success token, which we don't have, and exhaust an action. Well, we will exhaust the action. We have to suffer a damage. And we are not having much luck in the dungeon. That is the end of this phase. We are now at the monster phase. So we are now into the enemy phase. The 1 enemy in the shadow is going to go to the active player. Whoops. And that is a giant bat. And he is a 1 and is it 1. The good news is he is going to take 1 damage, but you can see here he has a retreat and an inflict. So actually he's going to go back here. And that is, then we're going to come here. He is going to take a damage. Inflict. He's going to engage, which is, or he's going to ensnare. If this enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action, so he's not going to do that. Then he retreats as well into the shadows. And that is the end of the turn. What's going to happen now is we are in the location phase. The location says, at the end of the location phase, the party rolls 1 enemy die, and if he gets a snare, he is going to be sickened. He is not, didn't get a snare, so he is not sickened, which is good. And then what's going to happen now is we're in the peril phase, so that gets moved up ever closer to the green one. And then what happens is we switch our characters, and the monk is going to go first. I think what we're going to try to do is use the aid. So aid is going to give us successes based on the number of success dice he has. You can have +1 successes on each of the cards, but you have a maximum of 2. So we are going to do Sigmar's Light. We do not have a monster in front of him, so we do not have to roll a gray die. Whoops, which I just did. He rolls 2 dice, not the black, so he has to roll 2 dice. You can see he has 1 success. So he's going to allow a hero to ready 1 action. So he's going to come over here to allow him to ready his combat. And he can recover. And the target hero can recover a wound. Pretty good. That's the first turn for him. Second turn. Click, click. He is going to attack. You engage 1 enemy. A ranged attack. During this action, for each other action you have exhausted, you may target 1 additional enemy. He cannot. But he also has a ranged attack. So he doesn't necessarily have to engage. And because they're not in front of him, he does not have to roll a dice. I think he would like to go after the spider. He has 1 success here already, you can see on his thing. So he's going to roll. And he has 2 successes and a shield. He did not kill him. Oh yes, plus the success. So he actually does 3. So this guy is going to go off and die a death of 1,000 spiders. And he has used his judgment. We're going to come back here. The only thing he can do is a shield wall. So that is an aid action. He's going to roll 1 dice. Let's just bring that up. Shield wall. And that is, the target hero may ready 1 action. Before this action, you may engage 1 enemy. You may engage 1 enemy engaged with the target hero, which we are not. The target hero may ready. There's no target heroes here. And ready all your actions. So he's going to roll. Let's see, what is his target hero? I think his target hero is going to be the clerk. Oh, right past. It was 2. So the clerk is going to have 2 successes. He may ready an action, which he's going to ready his combat action. And all these other actions now are ready to go. We are back to our cleric for his last turn. He is going to engage the enemy. He will have to roll 2 dice and a black dice. That is his last turn. He has killed the monster. Now it is the monster phase. There is no monster phase. We do have to roll a die. And if we get we rolled a blank. So we don't have to take a exhausted token or our card, which is good. And what's going to happen now is we're going to move up in the peril phase. Grumpus is coming on board. So our odious Grump is now out, and he's going to travel with us. So we got a few turns to get rid of him, and then he's going to come back, and then we're going to have a final boss fight. Hopefully we don't run out of time before we all die a horrible death. So what's going to happen now is we're going to switch over to our Witch Hunter. And we are all set to go. The Witch Hunter cannot, at this point, do anything but a explore action. We really have to start exploring that location. There is no monster in front of him. 2 shields. Well, that's really sucks. But he has to draw and reveal a dungeon card. And it is, you may become sickened to choose one hero. Each hero engaged with that hero suffers 1 wound. I don't need to be sickened. There is no thing to go on here. But it's an entire waste of time. He's going to come over here. He too is now going to do an explore action again. There we are. He didn't need the black dice. We get 2 successes so far. Okay, let's roll the dice again. 3 more successes for a total of 5. So we can put 5 on our location. 3, 4, 5. And he's taking his turn. He is going to take his explore action as well. He actually gets 2, which is good. So that'll give him 6. 6 of the 7 they need. He also, if you look at the path reduction or path of redemption, he'll also draw a dungeon card, but he also chooses a hero, and that hero chooses a success. So he's going to choose the warrior because the warrior hasn't gone yet. Or warrior has gone, but in his next turn he will be able to perhaps get Grump and engage our Grump. There we go, and he has taken his turn. We've come to his last turn. He's already explored. Okay, he's going to aid. He has no monster in front of him. I put that on the wrong thing. I put it on Sigmar's Light. So he is going to aid, and he's going to try to get one of these guys to the explore action. So he's going to roll an aid, and he's going to aid the priest, which he gets 2. So the priest is going to get two successes. I'm pretty sure he's going to put it to put 1 on the explorer, and he's already got 2 here. So he's going to put it on the rest, which is good because the rest is coming up. And then the target may ready 1 action. So he is actually going to ready his explore action. And you and the target collectively recover 1 wound equal to the number of actions you have exhausted. There are 2 actions exhausted, so he actually heals. And that is it for our Inquisition. He is done. His third turn. He is also the active player. Grump is going to come down here, munch, 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 and he's going to nail him for 2. So he's going to afflict, and then he's going to prey on the guy with the most hit points, and he's going to walk over here and say, "Hi, Mr. Warrior, you are in trouble." But little does he know that the warrior has a good action. So the warrior, he's going to have 2 actions this turn. And this is the first player right here. We still need 1 more explorer, but we're going to get that here. First things Mr. Warrior is going to do is use his action here. Roll a dice. He's going to have to get lucky, because I believe he can only engage another cannibal. Yep, 2 enemies. So he's good. He's got at least 1 success at this point. And he has 3. He's going to take another damage. So he'll remove 2 and turn over 1. So he's got 4 damage right now. He's got 3. Grumpus is going to take 2 damage. Plus this damage here as well. We have a success, so we might as well give him that 3rd damage. And we will mark that card. we're going to come over here. We're going to go explore. There's no monster in front of him. This is the last action he can take before he has to rest. He has 2 successes. He doesn't need to use his success. He's going to put the 7th guy here, and then we are going to, oh, and I forgot to move that. Yes, that. So he has done his turn. He's done his first turn. We must put a gem here, and we've come to our Witcher. He's just going to have to reload. So this is his reset. That is the reload card. That is the Witcher's reset of all his things. Let's give it a quick read. You may exhaust 1 non-enemy, which I don't have. Ready. During this action, for each other action you have exhausted, apply +1 damage, it looks like. Ready this action and up to 3 of your other actions. Well, we don't have anybody engaged with us, so we're just going to ready our actions. We're going to come around to this guy. Unfortunately, he cannot deal with Odious Grump really well. So he is going to, I think he's going to do his rest. Try to get back a few of these hit points. Odious Grump is here. Now, the way this works for him is that when he rests during this action, he can apply 2 shield. He does have to roll a black dice because Odious is there. He has 1 success so far. Odious hasn't hurt him. 2 successes, so he is going to gain back two hit points, which is nice. So we'll take him back down to 2 out of the 4. And that is his stubborn resolve. And that was the last of his turn. We are into the enemy phase. Grump says, aha. Says, I'm going to hit you for 2. He's going to inflict and then pray. So, as we already mentioned, he's going to hit him for 2. So we're going to just put a 3 here and take 1 back. And now he's 4, so he's just going to stay right where he is. And then that is the end of the turn. Now we're into our location phase. We have taken all 7. Usually we'd use these tokens here, but the red shows up really nicely. So we have finished this location. So we're going to move on. So this location is going to go over here. We're going to pick a new location. Ooh, very exciting. Now, because Odious Grump is moving along with us, he's going to stick with us. We are in the treasure vault. At the end of the location phase, the party leader may claim 1 gear card. If he does, he spawns 1 enemy, limit once per quest. Now, that's not bad. So he could actually get some... we might be able to get some gear at the cost of some enemies here. So we are going to spawn 3 monsters and then 1 in the shadows. First up is for our giant bat, a goblin warrior, and there. And then we'll move to our pearl phase, which moves this up 1 closer to the blue. And Odious is going to get all better. This is going to move over to, we'll move 2 over to here, 1 over there. This is going to move just so you know who the first player is. And that's what we're doing. Mr. Sigmar, he can do nothing but, sorry, that should have been Sigmar's light. The only thing he can do is battle prayer and rest. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis card. There we are. Whew. We're going to rest. He's going to choose a hero to be empowered, which I think is going to be our Witcher, because he's coming up. So we're going to roll 1 dice, and because he's exhausted, he doesn't get to roll a black die. He does 2 successes. So he's going to heal. Oh, he only rolls 1 dice, yeah. He's going to heal, but he has nothing to heal. He's going to choose a hero that becomes empowered. So he's already said we're going to choose the Witcher. Empowered says, do not exhaust the next action card you use during the action phase. Apply a +1 combat or a +1 shield. And we'll discard that condition at the end. Wonderful. And we're all set, and we reset all our cards again. So here we are. We're going to move to our Witcher. He is going to actually pronounce judgment, so he may engage an enemy, but he already has an enemy. He has a ranged attack. During the action, for each other action you have exhausted, you may target an additional enemy, which you can't. So he's going to try to get rid of this monster because he's going to retreat. Then he's going to inflict. So he does have a monster in front of him, so he is going to have to roll a black die. He is going to take 1. That washes out 2 damage, which is enough to kill the goblin. Of course, now we've taken that card, and we come over to our buddy here, who's got no way to really kill anything. He's getting down on his gear. He could use an aid card, so I think he might. I think he's got to start exploring. So he is going to explore. He's got 2 guys on top of him. Wow. But we got to get that explore action going. Okay, he's got a critical success. You can see that Grumpus is going to make... We're going to have to spread 2 damage over 2 heroes. Chances are I'm just going to give it to the cleric. We've done 2. We have 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 in the Explorer, which is really, really good. So we're just going to use 3, 4, and 5. But 2 damage has to be taken by members. So we're going to give 2 to our cleric. We have now exhausted that card. We have to take a dungeon card. It is a perilous path. You may add 2 progression to the location. If you do, roll 1 enemy die on a / suffer 1 bleed and become bleeding. I don't think I need to do that. In fact, he could exhaust. He doesn't have any cards to exhaust, so he's kind of got. You may add, so I'm not going to add it because he's already got 5 out of the 8. So he's in good shape. We're going to come over to the cleric for the last round here. He is going to actually take on, because he can engage an enemy, so he's going to engage Grump. So he says, Grump, get over here. And he's got 2 dice. He's got 2 successes. Oh, we forgot our Goblin Warrior is in front of him is still. He can also... So he's going to... Also, as part of that, he can exhaust 1 card to target a second enemy. So I think he's going to go after the Goblin Warrior as well. So let's roll and see what happens. He has 2 in front, so he's going to have to roll 2 black dice. And we have a shield, which negates that, and 1 so far. And 2. So the best he's going to do is 2. He's going to take out the Goblin Warrior. We've got to spread out 2 more damage across 2 guys. Okay, I think we're going to have to do the Witcher. And he's got a little bit more, so he'll take the 2 damage. Really didn't do anything on Mr. Odious here. And that takes us there. He explored. Sorry, guys. I told you I try to keep track. That is the end of this turn. It is the monster turn. He is going to smack him for 2, giving him a 5. Then so he inflicts, and then he's going to pray. Since he has 4 and he has 4, it's kind of tough to just say, yeah, we're going to leave him there for now. He has a bat here that he couldn't deal with, so he's going to take a damage for a bat. And then we are going to now go to our pearl phase, which is now the blue. The blue says, spawn Odious Grump. If he's already spawned, he recovers all his wounds regardless, and he activates and readies. Well, he's already activated and ready, and he spawns all his wounds. So he is all set to go again. He's going to explore. He has nobody in front of him, so we'll put these back. He gets 2. He's going to explore. He'll use 2 dice. He doesn't have anybody in front of him. He gets 1 more explore action, as you can see. Well, you would see if I had put them under. So he's going to get another explorer. So he has 6 out of the 8. And he's going to get a dungeon card. And for each other card, he can claim a success. So he's going to claim a success on here. And I think he'll put it on the aid, the reload, because that's coming up. That is his turn. So he's taking his first turn. Over here, I can do nothing but shield wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is aid. Well, we'll aid the Witcher. We have a monster in front of me. I'm going to take a hit, but I have a shield here, and 1 so far, plus a critical is 2, 3. So we have 3 aids. So the Witcher's going to go 1, 2, and I think he's going to put that on his Explorer. The target hero may ready 1 action, which is great. So he is going to actually action his weapon. And then he readies his 3. And that is the end of his turn. We're going to come over here. I guess he's going to have to do an explore action. Hopefully we'll get the last of these. He has 1 success already right there, as you can see. He is going to roll the dice. He has to roll that dice. He does take 1 hit that gets eliminated with the shield, and he gets a success here. We have 7 of the 8 locations that we need to deal with. Actually, what he can do is spend his success, and that will give us 8 of 8, which is good. And he has to do 1 dungeon. Equipment. No. Locked gold chest. You may discard this card after your activation and exhaust 1 action to claim 2 gear cards. That is wonderful. And then choose 1 hero that claims a success. Well, I think we're going to want to do that. And that puts the marker on discard. And now that is done, he's going to come over here. That is the wrong tile. It's not 3, it's just 1. He is going to fight Odious Grump. He has 2 successes. He doesn't have to engage him because he's in front, which is good. And it says, during the action, for each other action you have exhausted, you may target one additional enemy. So he, in theory, could target both because he's ranged. He has 2 successes already. He has nobody in front of him. Let's hope for 2 nice critical hits. And he didn't. He just got 2. Huh. Well, he's going to hit 1 for Odious and 1 on the bat, which will get rid of the bat. And that is the end of that phase. We are now into the enemy phase. As we can see, we are into the enemy phase. We should have moved this because he was the first player. See, I told you how bad I am with that. So Odious is going to hit our mage for 2. Our mage is really getting smacked down here. So that is what's happened there. And then we are in our location phase. We have solved the mystery of the location. We never took advantage of the gear card here. We should have. But that's okay. Let's get rid of the location. And then we're going to move into our next location. The sewer. Civilized. At the end of the location phase, each hero who has 2 or more exhausted actions suffer a hit. It's a 7 to explore, 1 and then 3 in the shadows. Okay, we're starting with our active player. So basically, he's going to get a, because we're still in the location phase. So he's going to get a gigantic spider, but it's an elite. The lucky warrior is just going to get a knight goblin archer. We have a gigantic spider. Oh, it's only 1. So so these are actually, I shouldn't be seeing these. These are actually going into the shadows. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. That's our location phase is done. Now we're into our pearl phase right there. And we are now going to pass the baton to him for 2, 1, 1, and we're going to come back to here. I think we are going to do an exploration right off the bat. He doesn't have a monster in front of him, so we're hoping that he can get it really quick. We have 1 and a critical, so that's 2 so far. So he has 3. 3 on that location out of 7. And he has exhausted his Explorer card on his first turn. He is coming over to here. He still has his Grump, but the only thing he can do is Battle Prayer. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis card. He does not have that. He's going to rest. So he is going to rest now. He only gets 1 dice. He does get 2 successes, so he's actually going to go down to 4. And then choose 1 hero. He becomes empowered, where we have 1 empowered already. So we're going to empower this guy, which is good. Choose 1 hero, and then ready all your actions. So there, there, and there. So he is ready to go. Ready and raring to go. His meeple goes up here. It is now the Witch Hunter. I love the Witch Hunter. He has a giant spider who is going to inflict, ensnare, and then retreat. Oh, okay. So we're going to see if we can kill him off the bat. We have 2 successes already, as you can see here. You may engage 1 enemy, so I could bring another enemy here if I want. I don't think we're going to need to do that quite yet. So we are going to just roll our dice, 2 dice and a black dice. We have 2 successes already. We need 4. And there we have it. We have a shield to negate that, and 2 successes, plus our 2 successes here. And we are successful in getting rid of our gigantic spider. Just like that. Okay. We are coming back to our warrior for his last turn. I think what he's going to want to do is He could do Stubborn Resolve and rest. I think that's his... So he could exhaust, but there's nobody here. Or he could do his shield wall and get his back. Nah, he's going to just rest. He's going to do a rest action. He has nobody here to really do that, so we're going to rest. Excellent. He's going to heal 3, which is good. And that takes care of his rest action. And that is his last action. We are at the enemy phase. He is the first player. So lucky him, he is going to draw a giant spider. Da, da, da. And I should be using that Empower too. Okay, well we have Empower cards, which is good. The cleric is going to pick up a Knight Goblin Archer. And we're going to pick up a Goblin Warrior. So everything is going to switch around. Eventually, but we should do the actual... so he's going to take 1 damage. So we'll get rid of that and flip that over for 3. He's going to take 3 damage, which is not looking good for our cleric. We're going to put 2 damage on this guy. That is the enemy phase. Now we're into the location phase. At the end of the location phase, if he has 2 or more exhausted card, he suffers. He's got 2. He's got 2. So he's got to take another wound. As does our Witch Hunter. He now has 6, so he only has 10 left, but he's okay. Now, what are we going to do here? We've got some major exploring to do, but let's start getting rid of some of these monsters. He's got 2 successes. He can do an additional, and he gets 1 additional success, so that will give him 3. He has to roll 2 black dice. That negates nothing. He gets 1. Plus he has 2, 3, plus he did 4. So he has 4 damage. He's going to do 2 damage to this guy. 1 damage to Mr. Grump. 1 is blocked. And in turn, we have to distribute 2 damage. And I think he's getting down there. He's got 7. How's our warrior doing? The warrior is going to take the 2 damage right now. And that is the end of the first end of this guy's turn. We're going to do that. There we are. We're going to move our dice back. I must remember to put the dice back into focus a little more often. Okay, it is the Witcher turn. Oh, he has... What can he do? He can do an aid. He can do explore. He can do a rest action. He's going to do an aid action. So he's going to target hero. So he's going to target this guy. He gains... So we're going to roll... Actually, he's going to roll... He's going to target our cleric. But first, we do have a monster in front of him. So we do have to roll this dice. He is going to take a hit. So 1, 2, 3. He's got 7 now. I have 1 success so far on an aid. And he, as you said, we're going to aid this guy. He's got 2. So we'll take that off. He's going to he's going to give him 2 successes on this. And the target hero collectively recover equal to the number of other actions you've exhausted. He's got 2 exhausted, so he's actually going to gain 2, and he's going to gain 2 back. That's great, though he is all exhausted, and he's going to take a damage from the location. At the end of his turn, we're going to come around to our warrior. He is going to smack He's going to use his. He's going to leave his Empower for the final battle. So he's just going to smack this guy. It's going to take 3. He has 1 success. So if he can do 2, and he does 3. There's no damage there. The gigantic spider dies. You can hear the death throes of the giant spider. We will put that on here. Didn't even have to use his success, which he doesn't have to use. And then we come back to this guy's last turn. He could try to go to Grump. I think he really should either rest or he should try to explore. And even though he's going to take 2, we might want to move him along. Could try to get rid of him. I mean, I doubt very much we're going to get rid of him. No, I think we're going to do the Explorer action. I don't know if we could do 4 here. It's possible. Let's see if we can. So we're going to attack. We have 2 successes already. And there we go. We have 3 successes and negates the shield. That's great. We have just killed 4. 3, and there's the 4th. Odious Grump is going to go back to his lair for another turn. He will be back out because we are actually on the last, coming up to the last pearl. Then we'll put Odious Grump back here. And I skipped something here. No, Explorer. That's right. This would be the last Explorer. He does get to draw. That's right. I just smacked him with this card. Never mind. I got confused. There we go. That is the end of the cleric's phase. It is the enemy phase. There are no enemies for it to come out at the moment, but we do have a 2 that's going to smack him for 2. He's going to inflict, and then he's going to go to the guy with the most damage. He's got 6, he's got 5, he's got 7, so he's not going anywhere. And now we're going to come back to right here. So he's going to get the 2 meeples. So you get single meeple. We have the enemy phase. He's going to take 2 hits, which I believe we already did. No, I don't believe we actually did. So he takes 2 enemy hits. He's going to have to rest. And it is his turn. He is going to reload. So it is a rest action. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis card, which is good. He's rest. When he rests, he can inflict a single wound. I don't know why. He is going to roll 1 single die, which is a critical hit, as you can see. So that's 1 success. And there we are. Whoops. There's 3 successes. So he's going to take 3 off his man for his first turn. And then he is going to reactivate his cards. And we're all good there. He is ready to rock and roll again. We're going to come over here. There's nothing we can do except shield roll, which is an aid action. So he's going to aid. He's going to roll 1 card. Okay, so he's going to help Mr. Warrior Priest. That's 1 aid. 2 aids. Okay, so the Warrior Priest is going to go onto the redemption path because he's going to explore. I think he's going to put both on there because we're coming up there. But he's going to ready this. He's going to ready a card. So he's all ready to rock and roll. And all these come off. And he has done his turn. Dun, 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 dun. Here we come here to our priest. I think he's going to explore. And what does it say? You may discard this card after your activation. Exhaust 1 action to claim 2 gear cards. Oh, okay. So he's going to exhaust Sigmar's Light to take 2 gear cards. I should have done that ages ago. And the first is a weapon, melee. It is a great sword. During your attack action, if all the target enemies are engaged with you, you may convert a shield into a fight. That's pretty nice. And so he has a great sword. And a night cloak, which says I cannot take conditions. Well, that's pretty good. So he can use both. Now, thematically, typically warrior priests would not use great swords, but it doesn't say anything about I can't use it in the rules. So he has a great sword to play with, which could, and this card is going to go back into just the pile over here. On activation, he is still going to do his explore action because it didn't say I couldn't. It wasn't the end of my turn. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. I roll 3, which gives me 6 of the 7 I need. Plus 1 gives me the 7 of 7 I need. So we are good. We exhaust our card. He is done. We are back to this guy. Well, I think he's going to just smack down. Actually, might take this opportunity to actually heal. No, I think he's going to try to get rid of this guy. So he's going to engage, and then he's just going to roll 3. Granted that we just smacked a spider or bat or warrior or goblin warrior into there, and that is the end of that turn. That is the end, and we will put a crystal there. We have no enemies to deal with. So the enemy phase is no enemies. We are now at the location phase. We get to move locations. So the location is going off into the location pile. No more location files. We are now into Grump's Stump. At the end of the location phase, spawn 1 enemy. Okay. And it's 10 exploration. And we on the red too as well. Well, we're not quite on the red right now. Yes, we are. We're still in the location phase. So actually, Grump is not out yet. We'll just put, we'll just get these guys ready. Here we are. Okay, so we're still in the location phase though. So we're going to get 3 monsters. First to our active player, which would have been our Witch Hunter. 2, a Goblin Warrior. Ooh, an Elite, a Giant Bat. And we get 1 in the shadows. We don't know what it is. We may be putting monsters back in here. And we are now ready to do the last Pearl phase, which is the red. And it says, Odious spawns. If he's ready to play, he recovers all his health. Regardless, he activates and ready. Then he activates and ready again. So let's put Mr. Stump out. So I'm going to interpret that he activates and then is ready. So he can't inflict because he's not in any range. But so he is going to prey on the guy with the most hit points. We have a 6, a 5, and a 6. So he is going to jump on his prey. I think, okay, we'll give him to this guy here. Then he says he activates again, which means basically we're going to do 2 damage to him. And we are ready for the last. Now I have to explore 10. Wow. So I don't know what we're going to do here. Okay, we're going to explore. That seems to be the thing to do here because I've got to explore 10. We do 2. Just had to nip off and look at the rules quickly. So see, we're on the last space. So Odious Grump is basically going to activate twice every turn. So we're going to want to get rid of him too. So I think what we're going to do is try to get rid of him as quickly as we can. Instead of doing the explore action like I wanted to do, we're going to take that back. And what we're going to do is, I think we're going to bring Odious Grump over to here and engage him, because we can do that with our shield. Yep, you may engage up to 2 enemies, so I've engaged 1 enemy here. And before this action, you may target up to 2 enemies. So we're going to look to do 2 enemies, even though I'm going to have to roll 2 black dice. Kind of chancy. Grump does get his hit. I get 4 hits though, which isn't too bad. So I'm going to use that 1 success. I'm going to use 2 successes to take care of our Goblin Warrior. And I'm going to use 1 success for Mr. Grump and get rid of that Goblin Warrior. We got to put 2 damage over the spot. Whew. Now he'll take a damage. And let's take a damage over here. 6 of one, half a dozen the other, really, in this case. Let's move that along. Okay, that is this guy's turn. We are up our cleric. I think the cleric is going to do... Yeah, he can't really do that. He can engage, though. I think he's going to bring Grump over to... Well, I think what he's going to do is try to get off this guy first. And then we can get some healing maybe in here. So he's got 1 guy. He's got a success. He only needs 2. He's got 3. He's going to take a point of damage, unfortunately. But he does off the rat. Now we're going to come over to him. Oh, but I forgot that this goes here. He really doesn't want to take 2 damage here. So do I explore? I think we're going to try to explore and kind of push that a little bit. Actually, we can do that later. I think what we're going to do is an aid. So we're going to aid. We're going to aid our hero here. So let's roll 2 dice. He's going to take a damage over here, unfortunately. However, oh, he doesn't take a damage because of the shield. That's good, actually. And I have 2 success tokens, which he's going to put right on his... right here, he gets to ready a card, I believe. And then they will... The number of cards that exhaust is 1. They can actually heal 1, which is good. And that is now exhausted as well. We are back to our friend, our warrior. He's got that ready to go again. So he's only has to roll 1 dice this time. He's got 2 hits already. Let's go. Let's go. Big hit. Big hit. Big hit. Oh, he's going to take a damage with the shield. He does 1 crit. So he has 1 right now, but he hasn't even got past the shield yet. But plus that is 3. So far he's got 3 and a swish. So he's going to do 2 more damage to Mr. Grump. Those are gone. That is the end of our turn. Grump is going to smack him for 2. Yay, go Grump. Team Grump is doing really well. We're going to come down here. He's going to do 2 damage to this guy as well. Our Witch Hunter. Excellent. Okay, he's done his 2 damage. He's done his 2 damage. The peril phase, I would say that's interesting because I'm not really sure. So he's going to inflict and pray. So he's going to stay here. So does he do it twice? That's the question. Does he actually fight twice? He's not going to recover all his hit points. That doesn't make any sense to me. But it does, kind of does, doesn't it? So he's going to recover all his hit points. I'm going to go back to the rules, guys. Okay, folks. Okay, folks, I've looked at the rules. It looks like exactly what it says. So he's going to activate twice. And he loses all his hit points. So, and then he activates again, which means he's going to inflict 2 more damage to our hero here. And then he's going to pray, but he's not going anywhere. And that is the end of the turn. And we are now back to the location phase. And he should have come here spawned as well. So actually he would have, the ghoul would have spawned and hit him for 2. So that's actually another one. He has got 12 out of the 18 here. We're getting, and he's sickened. During your action, -1 before your rest action. So before I'm going to take -1 hit on combat until I rest, which kind of makes sense. So we are going to move our guy over to here. He's going to get 2 actions, and we're going to get 1 action here. We've explored. He doesn't really want to engage. Wow. I think what he's going to do is... Ooh, wow. He can't explore. He can rest. Choose one here is already empowered. So he's going to take the ghoul over to here. So he says he can engage. The ghoul is 2. Going to do 2. Don't forget we are sickened over here. We do 2 damage to the ghoul. We fend off the 1. He doesn't have a 0. So he has got the ghoul off, which is good. And didn't need to use a success token. We are over to the Witcher. He is going to explore. We have to get to 10 here. That is the winning condition more than anything else. He has nobody. We have 1 success. Plus the one on the counter on there is 2. We have 3 successes, 4 successes. So we have 3, 4. Oh, sorry, that's the battle. So he has now done that. He has explored. We're going to come back to... And he's already done that. So it's his turn now. He really has to rest. But he gets 2 defense anyway. That's good. He can exhaust 1 non... If it's in front of him. Okay. So he's just going to try to heal up as best he can. Actually, you know what he's going to do? He's going to use a shield wall. And he's going to use a shield wall. And he is going to aid. So he's going to roll 1 dice, 1 for the black. Swish, which is bad. But it does allow him to ready an action. He's going to have to swoop this guy really, really quickly. He's going to get a rest action in. Really, no, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do a shield wall. He doesn't make sense. Too late. I rolled the dice. Target hero. Ready my action. That's good. Get rid of that. We're going to target the aid. It doesn't matter whether you're going to rest. So that is that turn. He comes to his cleric. Oh, yeah, he's the first. Did I not move? Yep, that comes to the cleric, who's the last guy here. And he is going to basically rest as well. Battle prayer. So he's going to rest. You may exhaust 1 non. There is no. He's just going to rest. So he's going to roll 1 dice. Doesn't have any monster in front of him. That's 1. And a shield. So he's only going to do 1. And then he takes off his guys. We're going to come over here. He has no choice but to reload. You may exhaust one nemesis, which is in front of him. Non-nemesis, good. He's going to rest. And he can apply a 1, so he can apply a 1. And then he can roll a dice. 2, so he's going to actually clean up 2 here. And do this. That is the end of the turn. We are now into the hero phase, or the enemy phase. Odious is going to smack for 2, and then 2 more, so 4 actually. And he is just going to be. We have 15. We're down to his last 2 life. Okay. And we did do a rest action. No, that was an 8 action, actually. So we still have this. Okay. This is going to move over to here. These guys are going to activate. We are going to spawn another creature into the shadow. He's going to go 1. He is empowered. Okay, we got to take out this guy. We just got to take him out. So the first thing the Witcher is going to do is move that. You may engage a target. So he's actually going to take this guy and he's going to engage him, as dangerous as that is at this point. He is going to engage him. He's going to roll 2 dice. So he's going to roll 2 dice plus 2 black dice. So he's taking a bit of a risk here. He does have an empower. Oh, that's nice. So he's got 4. He's going to take 1. He can use, but he's going to take the 1 hit. Uses empower. And 4 plus 5. So he's got 5 hits altogether. He's going to do 1 for this guy. Takes us down to 4, which means he's going to do 3 to this guy. And that is his turn. Good old Grump. We really need to take him out. We're coming over to our warrior fella. He is going to aid our witch hunter. So he's going to roll 2 dice. That's a waste of a way. Okay, he's going to. But he wants to get that up. He's got no... Unless he wants to engage this guy and take care of him. I've got the empower. So I only need to do, basically, I got to do 4 hits on him. And he can do... Okay, so what he's going to do... He's got 3, 6, 9, 15, 16. So we're pretty close. He's going to engage with Grump. He's got the empower, so that's going to give him +1. So if he can get 3, he's got just 1, and that doesn't. So the +1, so he's only going to do 1 past the shield, which isn't very good. Wow, that really sucked. And then we got to spread 2 damage. Well, he can't take the 2 damage, so we're going to have to put 1 here. And 1 here, I guess. And he has used this damage. Ah, my oh my. Well, and then it becomes the cleric's turn. Cleric he's going to roll 2 dice. So he's going to bring Odious. He's really doing it. He's trying to get rid of him. He's going to roll his 2 dice plus Odious's 1 dice. And we're really hoping for a special roll here. Aha! So Odious didn't do any damage. So we have at least 1, 2, 3. 3. And he gets to roll another die, which is a shield. But you can see Odious has got 4. So I get 1 1 to go past the shield, and 2 to destroy him. He dies a horrible death, thank goodness, because he, as a major stumbling block to what was going on, he is done. We have got this done. We head back to our witch hunter. He is going to just do an explore action. He doesn't have any mobs in front of him. Well, he has one, but he can't fight him. He's not going to die this turn. He does a 1 for the explore action. He goes to the dungeon. Ancient Altar. You may exhaust 1 action to become empowered. I don't think so. He just puts it in there. He has done his turn. We're coming up to this guy's turn. It is the monster turn. We are going to engage. Since he is the primary guy, at this point, the monster here, if I could get him up, is going to go here. Ouch! That's 5. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that is going to be rough. So he is going to take 5 damage. 2, 4, and 5. He's had 13 damage. This is going to be painful. He has nothing engaged here. If he rests... Okay, wow. I have nobody to engage with. He could try to aid, and then he can engage. So we're going to do an aid action. You may, before this action. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do an aid action. We're going to aid our cleric friend here. I actually rolled off camera 2 shields, which is good. He's going to take the 2 successes and put it on his Righteous Fury, and he's going to do that. And that was his aid. I don't think I can do anything else. Rest. It's not an aid. Oh, yeah, and then he readies his combat. Oof. And the sickness card, okay, he hasn't rested yet. No, so his combat's still there. Oh, no, he didn't rest because we just skipped that. We're now here. So he is going to engage with our orc boy. And now he's going to roll 2 dice. He has 2 successes, so he's basically going to have to roll. There's the 2. 4, 1 shield. He takes care of the orc boy, who's going to go back into the pile. Phew. Now, have I done something wrong here? No, we shouldn't be coming back to this last guy, because yes, okay, so he's got 1 more turn. He's going to take 2 hits. He could do a rest. So he's going to do that. He's going to do a rest action. So the first thing he's going to do is rest. He's disengaged. He rolled a shield, which does absolutely nothing. But he can put a +1 token on that, and we ready all our cards. And that is the end of his turn. It is the monster phase. We have no monsters. We will move to the Pearl phase, so we will spawn a monster. We'll upright this monster. These guys are going to get 2. He's going to get 1. And this is moving along to here. We're pretty safe at the moment. And this guy's gone, actually, because he's got 3. So he's gone. I forgot. So he is gone too. Okay, we will do an explore action. He does 1. We're going to do this the hard way. So that's going to explore. We're going to come over here. We're going to do the explore action as well. Oh, and he gets to do a dungeon card, sorry. You may suffer to become empowered. He's not going to become empowered. We get 3 this time, which is good. 3's 9. We only need 1 more. And we get a dungeon card. You may discard this card after an enemy engages a hero, for that enemy to suffer 2. Well, we have really no enemies, so he goes away. And so that was the explore action. And we're down here to the explore action here. Thank goodness. We have one success, 1 critical success, 2 successes. That's 3. That's 3. We have 11 on there. We've hit the 10. We have no monsters to worry about. He will activate, actually. Because he does that. The rat swarm advances and he's going to inflict 1 damage. 15, 16, 17. Whoa. We are at the location phase. We have beat the game. At the end of the game, we have to have beat and explored our location, which we have done. So it is victory. Odious Grump has lost the game. He does explore. I forgot he does to get this explore, which is 1 action here. You may exhaust 1 action to claim a gear card. Oh, okay, he says that. Why not? He exhausts that action, gains a gear card, whatever that might be. It's a long sword. Before your attack action, you may target 1 additional enemy. And that is the end of the game. Our heroes scrape by. Well, let's go talk about it, though. Final thoughts. Whew. That's a marathon almost in this game here. It is a wonderful game. It's kind of what I like in a game. It's not kind of. It's what I like in a game. It's an easy setup. It's an easy teardown. The rules are pretty straightforward. It's really just get a card. And you can see how this really worked. I don't know why Fantasy Flight Games did not continue on. I believe they lost the license. And we are probably never going to see anything more to do with this particular franchise, the adventure card game. But as I said earlier, BGG has variants and other characters and all kinds of good stuff. I think it's a fun game. Probably about 90 minutes, I would say. Yeah, 90 minutes if I wasn't taping at the tops. So this was fun. I enjoyed it. I would play this again. In fact, I probably will play through the campaign now that I've started it, finally, because it's been sitting on my table there for like 2 months. All in all, if you can find it, get it. If you can't find it, look at Heroes of Terranov, Fantasy Flight Games. But again, I don't think they're going to do anything with that game anyway. So as an investment, if you're looking for investment, it's not there. This game is still only a $30 game, so if you're looking to say, oh boy, I'll buy it and it's going to be a collector, it's been out for 5 years, it's still $30. So I don't think you're going to get anything out of Heroes of Terranov if you're thinking about value in a game. But anyway, I'm not going to keep you anymore. It is 2 in the morning. I couldn't sleep tonight for some reason, so I thought, let's just do a video. I've been wanting to do a video. I tried doing this video earlier, and I just couldn't get it the way I wanted it, so I redid it again. So I thank you for being here. I'm going to now spend a number of hours editing this, probably over the next 2 or 3 days, and you'll see it. So for now, if you like what you see in my videos, please hit the like. Better yet, subscribe, come into my community, and if you want to be notified, hit the bell. But this is Harry Jacobs. I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to the North of 60 Gaming channel.